Hey, you! Behind you! Sorry for the incredibly long wait for this video. I was just very busy procrastinating and not being able to figure out what I wanted to make this video about. And then, it hit me. Why not make a video about the greatest game of all time? Counter-Strike Source. As I was saying, Counter-Strike Source, or as I like to call it, Counter-Strike Source, is truly one of the games of all time. Much like Windows Vista, it released between two beloved titles, the legendary Counter-Strike 1.6 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. On launch, it was criticized for feeling less responsive than 1.6, leading to a split in the esports scene. Most hardcore players stuck with 1.6, favoring its skills-based mechanics over Source's new movement and hitbox changes. It wasn't until 2012 that Valve finally stepped in to unify the community with the release of CSGO. But with all that said, let us begin. No, wait, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh right, consider subscribing or even donating to me on Patreon if you're feeling generous. But with that shameless self-promotion out of the way, let us begin. Upon starting Counter-Strike Source, you're presented with multiple options, but the best option would be to press this one, then uninstall the game and move on with your day. But no, we must continue. Clicking on Find Server gives a rather extensive list of servers you can join. Some may or may not contain Trojans. Funnily enough, most of the servers have very few people on them. But when you do find one, prepare to die a lot. Like an ungodly amount. Scientists theorize that you only become better at the game after wasting 3,000 hours of your life or more on it. But I digress. If you know what's good for you, you pick Dust 2 and write off all the other maps in the game except for Office. That map is goated. So you want to stay as far away from double doors as possible, otherwise this will happen to you. Dust 2 was originally made, unsurprisingly, as a successor to Dust 1. According to Jess Cliff, the co-designer of 1.6, the map's environment is based off Morocco. It's also probably the most culturally impactful game map ever, with people remaking the map in other games, like Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. A user named Nick even remade the entire map in Unreal Engine 5 in just 1 month. Over the years, the map has seen quite a lot of changes since its introduction in CS 1.1. But wait, you say, this video isn't about Dust. Well, I kind of got sidetracked. So, I present to you the history of Counter-Strike Source. Counter-Strike Source was announced to the public at E3 2004. It was originally released in beta form to Valve's Cyber Cafe program, and on August 11th the beta was released to those who bought Counter-Strike Condition Zero, and then on August 17th it was released to those who got Half-Life 2 vouchers bundled with some ATI Radeon cards at the time. 2 months later, on October 7th, the game was officially released. On release, the game was plagued with odd bugs. It felt slower, the maps were smaller and the hitboxes were larger. The models also looked a bit awkward, so it was clear that tournaments would not move to the new game until the issues were addressed. It took about a year before the split in the community was easy to see, with some accepting CS Source even with its flaws and different feel, while others stood firm and unmoving from 1.6. Gabe Newell stated that he didn't understand the split in the community for a long time, as the numbers that Source were doing looked good, and most of the public communities had switched over to Source. In the US esports Counter-Strike community, Powers Gaming, not to be confused with another team that came much later on, called Power Gaming, had a big name in the CS Source scene, basically becoming the ones to beat, leading to Team Complexity, one of the top 1.6 teams, offering $5,000 if they lost to Powers Gaming in a CS Source match. Sadly, I couldn't find a video on this match online. Complexity lost. After this, quite a few CS 1.6 teams moved on to Source. Complexity, though, stuck to 1.6 until the release of CSGO. Sadly, a lot of the old matches are lost to time, and getting info on old teams is also difficult. Going more into the development, on November 1st, 2006, Valve released an experimental update to the weapons pricing in the game called the Dynamic Pricing System. Under this system, weapons would be made cheaper or more expensive depending on how frequently they were bought in the previous week. There was so much community opposition to this that it never made it into the game. On May 11th, 2010, Valve released an update for the game that brought 144 new achievements, a new domination and revenge system based on Team Fortress 2's system, and engine upgrades from the Orange Box codebase. In 2010, Valve announced that they were making a console port of Counter-Strike Source, which ultimately became the beginnings of CSGO.
The Phantom, exterior like fish eggs, interior like suicide wrist rags. I could exercise you, this could be your phys ed. Cheat on your man, homie. Ah, I tried to sneak through the door, man. Can't make it, the shit's stuck. Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! Please! I beg you! We're dead! You're a genuine dick sucker!
Oh hey, didn't notice you there. Counter-Strike Global Offensive started off as an Xbox 360 port of Counter-Strike Source by Hidden Path Entertainment, but seeing this as an opportunity to expand the franchise, Valve turned it into an entirely new game. Jess Cliff confirmed the title Global Offensive on the official Steam forums on August 11th, 2011. While Valve confirmed a day later with an official announcement, Counter-Strike Global Offensive uses the Source engine and is not built off of Counter-Strike Source, being completely built from the ground up. After the previous game, Valve wanted the newest game in the franchise to avoid the split that happened between 1.6 and Source. They built the game to cater to both the casual and competitive community by including a matchmaking system as well as support for dedicated servers. Valve announced that the beta would begin in October, but after receiving feedback from professional players who had been invited to playtest earlier versions of the beta, Valve decided to delay the beta. After addressing the majority of the issues, the closed beta was released on November 30th, 2011, to a pool of around 10,000 players. After almost a year of the closed beta, Valve released the public beta on August 14th, 2012 to anyone who had pre-ordered the game. Just a few days later, on the 21st of August 2012, Valve officially released the game on PC, macOS, PS3, Xbox 360, and later on Linux. On September 23, 2023, Counter-Strike 2 was released, replacing Global Offensive entirely and forcing the shutdown of its servers, and all support for Global Offensive ended on January 1st, 2024. Funnily enough, the Xbox 360 version still has working servers. Well, thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start, please consider subscribing, drop a like, write a comment, or if you can, donate on my Patreon. Anyway, have a great day, and see you soon.